Hello everybody, Eddie Hates Anime here with a review to a sequel to an anime. An anime that I enjoyed season 1 of, that I enjoy the manga of quite a bit. Dandadan season number 2. Now let me preface this with, yes, I am a filthy manga reader, so this is not going to be like, oh man, I was so surprised when this happened sort of review. It's going to be more of just a view on the adaptation as a whole, because that's the only standpoint I have on this. I don't have the standpoint of an anime only, but I still think it's a conversation that should be had because it's a pretty good adaptation. Well, it's actually a really good adaptation, and we'll get into why I think so. And before we get into it, this also isn't really a script. I have a couple cliff notes, but this is just more of a rambling one. This is gonna be more of a chill one, so let's get into it. Starting off, just like season 1, season 2 had the first few episodes in theaters, adapting specifically the Evil Eye arc. And while I don't care for adaptations doing that much, whether it's putting episodes into theaters or the anime movies that are just very much episodes stitched together, that it feels like it, or ones that are movies first and then be episodes in an anime later on, it is still cool anytime you get to see anime in theaters, I will admit, because growing up that just wasn't a thing, at least not around where I'm at. I'm not in a big city, and even now, unless it's really big, like Chainsaw Man played near me and JJK played near me, and then like Dragon Ball I still had to go a little bit to see, but unless it's a big shonen thing, I have to go to a whole ass other fucking city, a big ass drive, just to go see it. So it is pretty cool when I get the chance to see something in theaters like this. I didn't get to see it though, so that was unfortunate, but it's okay because I already read it and, you know, I still saw it. And yeah, this season's story is one that I do enjoy. You know, we get to see more of Momo and Okudun's relationship come together. It introduces Gigi, a character that I like. It introduces Kinta, who is the GOAT. Gundam fan? Check. Optimal build? Check. W Riz? Check, why not? And it's thanks to him that we got a kaiju battle. How fucking cool is that? I'm not sure how anime onlys feel about season 2. Well, because not only am I manga first, but I don't know. I say this all the time. I don't, outside of these videos and like a couple friends IRL, I don't talk about anime online. Like when I go online to Twitter, I want to see art that I like. I want to see, and yes, I see a lot of other media stuff, but I'm not on the front lines defending series or arcs, or on the flip side criticizing them. I just kind of save that for these videos. So I don't know what people are thinking. I'm assuming people like it if they like season 1. Maybe since it's more of a chill arc, I could see people crashing out over that, although I don't think it's very valid because, like I said, it does do a lot for our main character's relationship, and it sets up for future arcs quite well. I mean, quite literally the end of season 2 is going into next season. Maybe they're mad about a cliffhanger, I don't know. Like I said, I'm fighting imaginary demons right now. I'm just making this up on what could people be mad about and trying to address that. But I do think because I do know what's coming, I can reassure you there is no issues. Like, the pacing is fine. Shit's gonna get crazy. And this season made me realize just how many characters there are to meet, because Dandadan is a beefy manga. It's like 230 chapters in or something. I don't remember exactly at the time of recording this. I could check, but I'm lazy. Maybe I'll put it in the edit. And there is a lot of characters, and it's like, man, do we got a ways to go? And I'm excited to see the animated version of all of it. Season 3 has been confirmed, so W, because this is one of those adaptations that I do feel the need to watch. There's a lot of anime that are off a manga I read, and I mean, I'll either get to them or I won't, depending on how busy I am. But then there's the ones where you just see the effort and the quality, and you're just like, I have to see this. Or if it's a series that's like one of my tops of all time, of course I'm gonna have to see the animated version of that. Like JoJo's Part 7 is coming up, even if it wasn't David Pro, because I do believe David Pro makes quality anime, and JoJo's anime has been quite fucking quality. It's beautiful, it's amazing. But let's say it was a random ass studio that I've never heard of, but it is JoJo's Part 7, which is one of my favorite manga ever. I mean, JoJo's as a whole is one of my favorite manga ever, but you get what I mean. Part 7 especially, I would still check it out. Dandadan I like a lot. It is a very amazing shonen. I wouldn't say it's like in my top 10 or something, but because of that quality, I'm like, fuck, man, I gotta see this, you know? And it's also one that is easy to put people onto as long as they're not bothered by some of the, you know, some of the clothes being off and all this other stuff. Cause yeah, if you're not into that, fair enough. You don't have to watch the show. There's plenty of shows out there without shit like that, so I understand. But, you know, if you can get past some of the stuff at the start specifically, and there's some later, I mean, there's like literally a character that's gonna get introduced later whose outfit is a little fucking crazy when they transform, but whatever, we'll get there when we get there. There's plenty of shows out there, though, that don't have nudity or nudity adjacent type of things and uncomfortable things, like, because nudity aside, I mean, episode 1 of season 1, like, that's assault, so like I can see if that triggers you. I understand. I'm just saying, if you can't get past stuff like that, this show is very good, and it's one that you can see in the community is one that even that a lot of, I don't even know how to say this, because do we, like, the word normie in anime, it's kind of lost a lot of meaning now that anime is very mainstream. Like, we can't pretend like it's niche anymore, but the way I'm trying to say this and make it make sense is like, Dandadan is one that I see even the non-deep in the iceberg anime fans watching, because it's fucking Shonen Jump. Like, of course it is, but it's a very easy one to get into. That's the point I'm trying to make. This is what happens when I have no script and you let me loose. I just say words that don't make sense. But even my brother, I got him into it and we were watching it together, but he hasn't been watching season 2, so he's gonna have to lock in. And yeah, just all in all, season 2, especially the back half of it, when we're getting into the kaiju stuff and then into next season what's gonna happen, I'm a huge fan of that specific portion of the story, specifically what season 3 is probably gonna adapt. So surprise, surprise, more bias here. Yes, I liked it. Nice. The animation, of course, continues to be stellar thanks to Science Saru. I'm so hyped for Sonda. The time of recording this, Sonda's already started and I'm really behind on it, but I am going to watch it. So once it finishes, expect a review on that with probably an actual script and not just me yapping without a direction. But we're talking about Dandadan here. Next thing I wanted to mention is the OST is insane. Similar to season 1, there are some absolute vibe-alicious instrumentals that just vibe. Fucking vibe is the theme of this one. Dandadan is a vibe. That's the vibe of this video. And there's also more battle ones that are pretty sick. And I really wanted to talk about it because this is season 1 and 2 here. It works for both. There are OSTs named after each character, or at least each major one, which is really cool. You know, there's a track for Momo, and her track is lo-fi-ish. There's Gigi's, which is very hyperactive and a bit chaotic, but it fits for both the cool happy dude that is Gigi, since it does transition into a more mellow melodic thing after the intro, but also for the blares and techno part of the track, it works for Evil Eye. Maybe I'm stretching a bit here, but that's what I think that track fits both of them, not just Gigi. And there's ones for Aira, Seiko, Okarun. So that's a very cool thing in the OST I wanted to point out, because it's kind of weird reviewing a season 2 at this point, because it's like, tell me something I don't know. But there's a lot of tracks in Dandadan I really like. Specifically, I do love the battle ones, don't get me wrong, but I really appreciate, like I mentioned, kind of like Momo's track, or something like More Than Friends, which is like the perfect banter track. It is Dandadan's version of Monogatari's piano that everyone uses in lots of memes and stuff if you haven't seen the show. But the chill tracks are what really gets me when we're in the school or we're just not battling in general. I really enjoy those. Now, when it comes to the opening and the ending, the opening is fucking fantastic. It's called On the Way by Aina the End, an artist that I love. It is so snappy. It hits that sweet spot. It lives rent-free in my head. The build-up, the main chorus, and the way that the visuals work with it are amazing. It kind of continues the trend from season 1 with saying like Dandadan in it, but it's in between certain lines, and I thought that was really cool how they did that. And I actually, hot take, kind of prefer this opening to season 1. Maybe that's recency bias. Don't get me wrong, season 1's is lit as hell. Shout out Creepy Nuts. Absolutely goated. I love Otanoke, but I don't know. Like I said, it's probably just recency bias because I love that opening as well, but I just found myself listening to this one an unhealthy amount of times. It's like the first song in my running playlist these past 2 months, and it absolutely gets me going. Although I haven't been able to run in a few weeks, so it's been listened to a little bit less. Unfortunate for the injury. If only I had fucking Turbo Granny's powers, right? Now for the ending. Something's Wrong with Them by Wirtz. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Let me know if I'm wrong. And it's definitely a fun one. A feel-good song to end the viewing experience. Everyone's vibing, everyone's chilling, everyone's happy. Love to see it. There's not much else OST-wise that I really want to talk about. I just really did feel like mentioning, obviously, the opening and the ending, but the character-specific tracks, because I think those are worth glazing. I love tracks that pertain to specific characters and stuff. I just think that's really neat. A really neat detail. Although I guess it's nothing new. A lot of characters have themes and stuff. But I don't know. I really like how Dandadan does it. And maybe it's because Dandadan in Shonen balances the non-battle and battle lives of these characters extremely well. There's other ones that do it well too, of course. I'm not saying that's the first one to do it, but I don't know. Dandadan does it so well, man. And that's why I think maybe that some of these themes, not necessarily being the same as like Jotaro's theme or Deku's theme or something, it can be more normal depending on the character. And that could have to do with the fact that, you know, not every character in the school that they go to is got the same powers and are aiming sort of similar goals. It's more like we got characters that got caught up in stuff and no one else is really knowing, and they don't want people to get involved in stuff, as opposed to something like a Bleach where the whole world's in it, Naruto, the whole world's in it, My Hero, at least in that specific school, they're all trying to be heroes. So I get why a lot of the popular battle shonen formula doesn't fall into something like this, but that's why I do appreciate when we get manga like this, because it's a nice change of pace. And once again, before you come in the comments like, well, this did it first, I didn't fucking ask. I'm just saying Dandadan does it too. I hate that I have to say that, but I feel like people go out of their way sometimes to nitpick what you say, especially when I'm not scripting, so I sound fucking stupid because I've run out of even cliff notes to say. So this is all freestyling now for the past few minutes, which is funny because you probably see me looking over here. I just look over here because I'm so used to it now. Even when I don't have a fucking script, I'm just like, please give me something, like it's gonna conjure up something. It's like opening the fridge when you've already done it 5 times and there's nothing there. So yeah, Dandadan season 2, absolutely fire. This video somehow was still longer than I wanted it to be, even though I had not that much to say. We're just not time efficient over here. They say time makes money. My money makes time. Wait, no. Hold on. What did Shannon Sharp say? He said, wait, no, he said, you work for money. Oh no, he said, I'm gonna look it up. Trust me, this will be worth it. Stay there. Stay there. Something about time working for me or something. Oh, wait. Yeah, the difference between you and me is that you count time. I make time count. Where did I get money from? Maybe because money is time. Okay, sorry. I gotta stop here. This video is getting out of hand. Shout out Dandadan. Excited for season 3. Go watch a review from someone who put in a bit more effort than me. I do not deserve your view. I'm out. Goodbye. Peace.